Hey there, welcome to Acadebility. Are you afraid of closures in JavaScript? If yes, then this is the right place. Today in this video, we were diving deep into the close concepts of closures in JavaScript. Closures are very powerful and often misunderstood. But fear not, by the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of what closures are, how they work, and their practical applications. So let's get started. Hello guys. Now let's explore what is closures. Okay. So in JavaScript, a closure is a combination of function and its surrounding lexical environment. Um, let's say it's like a package that contains the function itself and the variables and the references to variables that were in that scope. Okay. So to put it simply, a closure allows a function to retain access to the variables from its outer scope, even after the outer function has finished executing. So, functions, closures are created when functions are defined within other function known as the nested or the inner functions. Okay, the inner function has access to its own local variables as well as the variables from its outer function, which forms the nested lexical environment. So these closures are very useful because they enable us to create private variables, um, encapsulation of data, and to maintain state across multiple function invocations. So they also facilitate to create of higher order functions, function factories, and more complex programming patterns. So let's look at an example to explain the concept of closures. So here, I'll try to create one function. Suppose function, I'll give it name like outer function. Okay, and let's create define one variable. I'll give like outer variables, and I'll assign some value like this is outer value. Okay, now I have to create one more function inside this, and I'll give name as inner function. After that, so here the inner function will create one lexical environment and it will create one closure here. So now what I'll do is I'll use that outer variable inside this inner function. So what I can do is I can access that outer variables, and now what I'll do is I'll return this inner function. Okay, now so when we invoke this outer function, suppose and I'll invoke this outer function like this outer function, and what happen, and I will assign that value of this outer function to I'll give like closer in this variable I have assigned. Now let's see what this closer will have. Console.log. If I see closer, then what it will return. So node index 2. Yeah. So if you see here, the outer function returns one function called inner function. Okay. So along with it, a closure is also created. Okay, this closure retains the outer variables from the outer scope. Okay, so now here, even though the outer function has finished executing, here the outer function finished the executing, still this inner function can have access to the outer function. So how I'll do that? I'll call a closer here. Hmm, already I had given console here. So now if you see, it'll here the execution is completed for the outer function, and in this it assigned an inner function. Now I am calling the inner function. Now the inner function can access this outer variable. Let's see. See, this is the outer value. So here is the magic happens. Now when we uh, when we invoke this closer function, it logs the outer variable. Okay, so in it means they preserve the variables and references which they need even when the original function has completed its execution. So you might be wondering, that's cool, but how can I use closures in my code? So closures have several practical examples, practical applications, and one of the most common use cases is the creating private variables. Okay, so now let's start by creating a private variables by using a closure. Okay, so for that, I'll create one function called suppose create counter. I'll give. Okay, and inside that I'll create one variable and I'll assign the value as 0, and I'll return one, sorry, I'll return one inner function, and that is an anonymous function. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll increment that variable, and after that I'll console the count. Now, okay, so here I'll ask you guys to understand and give the answer for this. Okay, so here the same thing what I am doing, what I did in the first example. I invoke this create counter function and assign into a counter variable. Now, so the counter variable, it is having the inner function. Okay, so it is having the scope to access this count variable. So now, okay, that is understood. Okay, so now what is the answer? Okay, so you guys might think it is 1. That's correct. So, okay, so if I see here, the answer is 1. But here, if I give 3 times like this or 4 times, what will be the answer now? You guys just think and give your answer in my comment box. Okay, and it is a good exercise, so you can think and just give me your feedback in the or your answer. And if you have any doubt, feel free to ask and give your and you can ask your questions in the comment box, and I'll definitely try to give an uh, uh, give it means reach out, it means I'll give you the a solution for that. Okay, so by using these closures, okay, so by the way, the answer is like the answer is here is 1, 2, 3, 4. How it happens? As I told, the closures each time it first time it create a closure, it will access. Second time, so I told you like that closures will access as well as it preserves the value of the variable. So for the second time the value become 1, it increments. For the third time it become 2, so goes on. So in that way closures are very helpful. So by using this closure we have created a private variable, that is count, that is hidden from the outside world. The inner function can still that this inner function can still access the modified count, but no other part of the code can interfere here. So this is an example for encapsulation which ensure the data privacy here. Okay, so and apart from that, we have created private variable. It is the most common use for closures, and closures can be used to implement modern module patterns, design patterns. Okay, and encapsulations, code organizations, many things. Okay, you can use. So as I told, closures are very useful for maintaining state in asynchronous operations. Okay, so which allows to use store and retrieve the data. Okay, so so we have explored many things. We have gone through the depths of closures in JavaScript. We have explored like what closures are, and how they work and their practical application, including creating a private variables. Okay, so that's it in this video. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and I hope this video found very informative for you. And if you have any questions or suggestions, just feel free to leave a comments below. And if you feel this video is very helpful for you, just please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thank you. Bye bye.